Love and Hip Hop Season 9 premiere episode was, I'm going to say, it brought back the original formula of what Love and Hip Hop truly is all about. And this, I call this the staple of the franchise, because without New York, there isn't a Love and Hip Hop franchise series in existence. I'm going to talk about it. Let's get into it, shall we? Hey everybody, this is your girl, Miss Anna Little Cole. I'm coming to you straight out of NYC on this Monday afternoon. It looks like the sun is trying to break out in Harlem. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I'm off today. So basically, if anybody knows me, everybody knows I love and hip hop. It's one of my guilty pleasures, but I really have always been a fan of the New York series, and I'm going to tell you why. The New York franchise, or I'm not going to say franchise, but the New York segment of Love and Hip Hop has always been very much, you know what, I'm going to take that back. It is a franchise. The New York franchise has been the one that I'm going to say has been the least coonish. You can say what you want. I feel as though the reason why a lot of people don't like the Love and Hip Hop New York franchise is because they don't really coon a lot, and they actually have more authentic storylines. Like the couples that they're with, they're actually with those people. Whereas Atlanta, Hollywood is a lot of scripted. Whereas New York, that's the reason why you don't see a lot of people staying on the show, is because the New York cast members, they see what it's like, and they see like, they're not really with the fake stuff. Because I'm going to be honest with you, New York people, you can say what you want, but the one thing about us is that if it's not real, we're not going to do it, no matter what. That's why I'm going to get to Safari's ass later. I'm going to get to his ass because he know better. But first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about the major points of the show. And I'm going to talk about the major characters. I'm not going to talk about certain people on there because I feel like they don't have any substance to it. But I'm just going to go like cast member by cast member. I'm going to talk about Joe Budden and Sin. I've known about Joe Budden since the early 2000s. I think he's an excellent rapper. I think he's highly intellectual, which is why I do not understand why he's with Sin. How can you be with a woman like Sin Santana, who was introduced to us fans of Love and Hip Hop by being with a woman? Okay? Now, this girl is pretty young. Joe Budden is 38. She's young. They don't have anything in common except for they got a baby and they live in the same house. That's it. Oh, and they work in the industry. Those three things. They don't have anything in common. This woman, this young girl wants to have sex. It's been like a year since she gave birth to his son, and she wants to have sex. He's at that age, and the fact that he's on his grind, he's at the height of his career doing the his shows on I believe the channel is called Complex, doing Everyday Struggle. He does not feel the need to have sex in his life as a way to feel complete. He feels that he has everything. He has a girl, he has a child, he has a successful career, which is what he's always wanted. He stopped rapping, but it's like, listen, I don't need sex to survive. This chick seems like she needs sex to survive. So what I'm going to say with this couple, it's not going to last. Plus, you got her talking about, I need sex, Joel. If you don't give me sex, I'm going to get it from anybody because I can have sex from anybody I want. Now, this is very important. She says this. I can get sex from her, and from that dude over there. Basically, the girl is hypersexual. She's openly bisexual. And to me, to be honest, she's not his speed. I don't believe she brings anything intellectual in his life. And this is why I don't understand why men do this stuff. I don't understand why men go with women who don't bring any substance to them. I think that he did it because she had a certain look and a certain figure. She doesn't bring anything to your life, Joe. And I don't see this relationship lasting. Meanwhile, when she told him at the place, I can get sex for another dude, he didn't care. Then when she offered it to him, he was like, well, what about the baby? He didn't care. He was like, so he does not care. She does not care. They don't make sense they don't make sense at all. And this relationship is doomed. Now I'm going to get to the one that is really very important to me. Kimbella and Juelz Santana. I did a video a couple of months ago, early this year, about Juelz Santana getting busted at the Newark airport for the guns. And in the video, I mentioned that I knew him. And I didn't know him, but I mentioned I knew him through somebody, like as kids. I never played with him, anything like that. But I see him every day as a kid when I would go to school. It's really sad when people that you know come up and make it big to fall to drugs. He does explain that it all started because he had to have dental work. He got addicted to the painkillers. But the painkillers must have messed up his teeth because, honey, those caps do not match. He walks around with false teeth. Drugs really ruined. That's really sad. I'm going to be honest with you. It's really sad. It's really, really sad. Now, Kimbella, I never disliked Kimbella, but I've seen her do some things on the internet that involved her daughter when they were showing off their bathing suits. And the daughter, she basically stretched out the side of her bikini bottom. And she was about maybe 3 or 4, and it disturbed me. And I didn't think she should put that there. So I always had my doubts with Kimbella. But I do think that she does love Juelz. But I feel as though it's one of those situations where the man will not marry her, even though he recently proposed to her. It took him to hit the bottom to finally realize, and to have 3 babies by this man to realize, this is the woman for him. But he's basically on house arrest. He has the choice, he tells Kimbella, to either take the plea deal for 4 months, or he can go to trial and risk going to jail for about 4 to 5 years. And she's crushed. She can't handle it. Juelz fighting this charge. They got him on camera. Juelz knows that because it's a federal offense, if he pleads guilty, he's not going to be able to do a lot with his life. He can't get a federal offense expunged from his record. He can't. He'll be a convicted felon. There's no way he'll get out of it. And I think it's sad. Also, they went to counseling and Kimbella discusses how it's either you disrespect me, you cheat on me. When you don't cheat on me, you disrespect me. When you disrespect me, you hurt me. You badger me. I feel like you don't love me. And Juelz is like, it's not even like that. I'm just, under a lot of stress. I just think that Juelz, a lot of it deals with the career situations that happen with the terms of rap. Nobody really wants to hear the New York type of rap anymore. And when they fell out with Rockefeller, a lot of careers kind of dispersed. Now, I will say this. They are coming back together. Dipset is coming back. And I want to see everybody make it big. And I want to see everybody make money. I really do. And I don't want to see anybody locked up. So I wish Juelz and Kimbella nothing but the best. But he's got to get the drugs thing under control. So, I am going to now talk about Alexis Sky. Alexis Sky, let's just keep it real. She's one of those girls that got pregnant by Fetty Wap, I believe, to secure the bag. Now, let's keep it real. She knew what she was getting herself into. Fetty Wap at that time, I believe he had 4 children, if I'm not mistaken. He was with Masika Khalisha. She knew what she was getting herself into too. And it's like when she was on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, she just went straight Shabbos on this girl. Made the diss record and so forth, but she is a rapper. I haven't heard her rap, so I'm not going to say nothing. But I will say this. She's a pretty girl with a pretty face. But when she was at that meeting with Treyway Shotty, I'm going to say this. Shotty is snaky, okay? He's snaky. But I'm not going to lie. He does play a good impression on being a business person. But if you know Alexis Scott got issues with Fetty Wap, why would y'all, even the producers of Love and Hip Hop, have Fetty Wap walking in to congratulate Alexis Scott, knowing that Alexis Scott and him haven't talked since a couple of weeks after she gave birth to the daughter, who they both struggled to live. She's had 4 blood transfusions. She's had like 3 brain surgery. No, I think 3 or 4 brain surgeries. And she's only 7 months old. That's really sad. And I feel as though she didn't need to have him there. But they did it for the drama. And Shotty's the last one to talk about professionalism when you shout it in the court, or when you assume to be shouting in the court, F it, it's Treyway. Don't do that to Alexis Scott. I'm not a fan of Alexis Scott, but don't do that to her. So now I am going to talk about Maino. Maino's situation is a little different, and I'm going to explain why. Maino is one of those rappers that is one of those street type of rappers. And when I mean street rappers, he's one of those rappers that wasn't about that glitz and glamour. He wasn't trying to go mainstream. He had a big song last decade called Hot Hater. I used to have that as my ringtone. He's from Brooklyn, and everybody in Brooklyn was bumping that record. That was like a huge record on the rap charts, the R&B chart, R&B mainstream charts. And it was also huge on the Hot 100. And it was big overseas. Dude was blowing up. But then the game changed. And like I said previously, nobody wants to really hear rap records from New York. And that's what happened to his career. So you can still make money performing. Nobody's going to stop your bag with that. But the Irving Plaza shooting that happened 2 years ago, he was there performing. And I remember this day vividly. It was a Wednesday. I'm going to tell you the backstory. My friend, who at the time was a supervisor at a store in Harlem, who worked a block down from me, we was talking because I had my day off. And I was like, are you going to go to the show at Irving Plaza? So he was like, yeah, I got my tickets and everything. So when I saw on the news that the incident happened, I was worried because I'm like, oh, shit. My friend was at that show. I called him. He didn't pick up. So I knew he was going to be scheduled to work the next day. So I went there and I was like, oh my God, thank God you okay. He was like, what you mean? I was like, you was at that event. He was like, you want to know something? I didn't even go. I was like, what happened? He was like, at the last moment, something came up with one of my homies. So basically, I had to like hold my tickets, and I'm trying to get my money back. But basically, since this whole thing happened, they got to give, because this a lot of people don't know. When a shooting occurs, when any incident happens at a concert, everybody has to be refunded their money. It's a law. Their money has to be refunded. So my friend didn't get a chance to go. But we all know Troy Ave got shot. He ended up being charged for something. Come to find out, the person that was doing the report in Taxstone, he was the one that was the instigator. And I believe he took a plea. And he's now doing like 20 years or something like that. But Taxstone was like a real, I wasn't a fan of Taxstone. He talked too freaking much for me. And I don't like people that gossip. So I really wasn't, I wasn't. Yeah, I couldn't. So basically, so to speak, Yeah. Yeah, he was arrested. Yeah. They arrested him. So basically, to keep it short, Mano's girlfriend got shot. And her name is Maggie. And Maggie's very pretty. And Maggie, she's traumatized from it. And Mano, he doesn't want her to relive that again. Because she's not a street girl. She's not really about that life, so to speak. So they go back to the spot. And, it's traumatizing. It's traumatizing. So, moving along to the one and only Safari. Safari comes back to New York, and he's strict. Now, he meets up with Joe Budden and Rich Dollaz, who I actually like Rich Dollaz. He explains to them that the whole situation with A1 and Lyrica was not the truth. So basically, Ray J, like I always said, was a shit starter. He was lying, spreading gossip. He basically never slept with this girl, so to speak. So basically, to me, this was all drummed up for ratings, which is why I always said New York one is more authentic. They don't really do that as much. Now, he's performing at Dyckman. I'm from New York, so I know about Dyckman. It's a street dudes event. They perform at the Dyckman court, where they play basketball, street ball. Safari is not a street artist. He is a rapper and a producer, and he's known primarily for his work with Nicki Minaj. Now, don't get me wrong, the dude can rap, because I know people that went to school with him at Midwood High School. He is a very good rapper. The thing about it is that when you're known primarily for one image, it's hard for you to shake that off, especially if you never really had like a breakthrough single, which he really hasn't. He's known primarily for music for the ladies. So you're going to Dyckman, you're rapping, they're not feeling your record because it's not a street record, and it doesn't really have the latest sound. So then you're going to tell them, I get more ladies than you, I got more paper than y'all, and then they threw bottles at him. So instead of just taking the L, he gonna make a diss record called Dyckman. Yes, like a day later, gonna make a record called Dyckman. Now, we all know Safari got robbed. They took his jewelry. Everything. He was crying on Hot 97. It was pitiful. I felt bad for him because it wasn't fake. That happened before the Dyckman thing. Now, you're robbed at gunpoint. They take everything. They take your jewelry. They even tarnish your manhood. Why the hell would you do that again and put your life at risk? So my thing is with this dude, Safari, you're posing and shit. You need to stay in your own lane, like Joe Budden says. And like Mano says, you're not a street dude. Stop the act. Let it go. So, I will leave it with talking about the upcoming episodes this season. Yandy's back. She ain't going nowhere. She the queen of Love and Hip Hop in New York. That's Mona Scott's girl. There's really no storyline with her since Mendeecees is now in prison. Rich Dollaz's storyline with his baby mother, that one is very interesting because she shot a dude and she's facing jail time, and this was the preacher wife. Very interesting. Also, Yandy got beef with Kimbella, and I believe Yandy is a mean girl, and I believe she doesn't like Kimbella because she thinks Kimbella's beneath her. But Kimbella was somebody that she was friends with when she was struggling. I don't like people like that. I'm also going to talk about, in the next coming episodes, Joe Budden and his girl. You see a lot of that dynamic. You also see Remy Ma. She's back. But Remy Ma and Papoose are not in the main credits. So I think they're trying to buy out from Love and Hip Hop. But I'm really going to say that the formula this season is going to work. I'm looking forward to it. And with that, this is your girl, this Analytical. I'm signing off. Thank you for viewing this audio. Thank you for being a subscriber. Hit the notification bell, share the video, comment, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.